Dramaturgy, our goal is to see the whole picture of the story and to bring everyone closer with elements of the story. I'm Jayna Wanamaker. I'm Marvelin and also the lead dramaturg. First, I started talking with Kyvan, and we had some emails shooting back and forth, and we wanted to create a list of dramaturgical research topics. And so for those, we came up with some general baseline ideas. So looking at congenital analgesia, which is related to my scene, and that's Marvelin for This Hurts and Steve. And then we also wanted to research auroras, which are the transitions. We wanted to research effects of alcoholism on emotions, and that has to do with Sad and Glad. And then a couple other topics that were in relation to Almost Maine. And so that's how we started. And then we branched off from there, and now we have a ton of research topics. So the big ones, we just did our big presentation on auroras.
I really like researching the auroras just because I love science, and that just and auroras just really interest me, and I always want to see them. So the auroras really help with transitions, and I feel like it's like interesting tidbits for the design teams for designing these auroras for the transitions.
I also looked a little bit into the effects of alcohol on like emotion and depression because that it relates to my scene with Jimmy going through depression with all of his family leaving him and his fish dying, and the horrible breakup with Sandrine.
Later, we're going to be working on the cliches of Almost Maine because those are kind of pretty relevant in every scene.
I don't know, we kind of looked into a little bit of like the cliches a little bit like a couple weeks ago, and so how those like affected the people who live in Almost Maine. We looked on a map and we found specifically where Almost Maine is, and we got it down to the actual township place where it is, and so that was really cool to see, like we can place Almost Maine on a map.
This is more like related to a map, but the KP scale, I knew nothing about it, and then Zander, you go and research, and you brought back this really cool map, and so now we know that I was probably a 6 and Almost is probably a 5, and a 5 simply means that you're more likely to see auroras that far north than in Iowa, so the lower the number, the better. Love, it's kind of the overlying topic of the whole story, and I think dramaturgy too, because not every single person has one definition of what love is. Everybody is different, and so that's one big one we want to share with the rest of the cast because we want people to be on the same page with what we're researching. If we find something really interesting that's in relation to the show, we hope that that can maybe spark an interest or help them with their scenes. When we're doing these presentations, we really want to keep in mind the fact that the cast will be learning hopefully from this. I actually think learning about what the dramaturgs do is kind of really cool because it's something a lot of people they don't know.
I think it's really cool to know all of these facts about like where it is, the like climate and the setting, like the community with the like the whole town.
It gives you a lot of like special insight, like researching these topics, because like even if we relay that information to them, we see a whole bunch of like extra information that we weed out. But yeah, it's really insightful to see where all these things come from. It's actually a lot more interesting than I expected it to be. Yeah. When I went into it, I was expecting, I don't know, I thought it would be like sort of like a lovey-dovey sort of way, but it's a lot realer than it first seems at first glance.